the internet is broken. Business models and site design are entirely geared toward advertising and not the reader. On today's internet, advertisements are distracting, invasive, and overwhelming. In Den, the primary objective is quality content. Instead of ads, you may occasionally see a boosted post where a user has risked value to increase its visibility. Just like any other post, you can upvote or downvote to help evaluate the relevance to your community. The more engagement a boosted post gets, the less the booster pays. Depending on the evaluation process, a booster can get up to 85% of their money back, if the post is well targeted and engaging. In Den, quality content is the primary objective.
Good morning, denizens, and welcome to episode 2 of Coffee with Den. I've got coffee this time and not tea. Brought to you by Avanti Bio, whose coffee cup I'm drinking out of today. Also brought to you by the Den merch store. I got a discount code for 20% off that I'll bring up in a few minutes. And how you doing? Leave some comments down in the reply section if you haven't done so already. And I'll actually be paying attention to the YouTube chat this time, which I forgot about last week, but you know, I'm getting there. New show and all. So I hope you're doing well. I wanted to talk to you about a few things that is going on at Den, some of the new features that are coming up, and I wanted to talk about just some tips and tricks about how to use the platform. So let me share my screen since I forgot to do that, and we'll get on with it. So let's see. I've got it up in Brave browser right now. I've had pretty good experience with that. Your mileage may vary. Let's see, and that's going to be... Nope, that's not it. Sorry, give me a minute. I forgot to bring this up, and now I got to find it again. Yeah, that's the one. Allow. Sweet. Add, and there we go. Let me resize it. See, this is all stuff that I should do before I start, but I'm not a professional, and I'm learning. So that looks good, right? You can read that. Awesome. Angel Breaker's with us. Let's see, Get Bashed with this is with us. And oh, that is Angel Breaker. What's up? You got different names, man. Angel Breaker's been great. Interested in a golden JoJo mug. I don't know what the details on that are, but you probably got to have a golden JoJo to get it, right? I don't know. So like I said, we're going to talk about tips and tricks. We're going to talk about a little bit about governance that's coming up. We'll go over maybe tipping a little bit as I'm going through some of the posts. And privacy matters. Yes, it does. Good morning, Logan. Logan's on the stream too. Now, if you bring up the post for this episode, my fault, little confusion. I posted it early so that people could get in on like leaving questions and stuff. But I think that a lot of people thought they missed it because there's like 2 or 3 comments down here saying, you know, thought I missed it episode 2, and then vowels or hey, do we miss it? My bad. So here's what I'm going to do. Going forward, once I'm done with this show today, for example, I'll have episode 3's post up on Den in the Den layer tomorrow for episode 3, right? And then we'll use that one, and the next day I'll have a post up. That way, a lot like the World Blockchain Roundtable does it. I like their format. We have it up well in advance, and then you can add questions to talk about, you know, in the bottom of it and give you something to chat about during the show. So that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully it's consistent enough to not be confusing. If it is confusing, let me know how to do this, and that's what I'll do. Cool. So moving on. Also, right off the bat, at the bottom of this, I edited this in this morning. And there's a link here. It says, click here to join the call. Let's chat about Den. If you want to come on, I'll pull you up. We'll chat. We'll talk just like, you know, if you ever were in the governance calls on Twitter when we did them on Spaces. Very open to anybody who has any questions and wants to comment. And we can pull you in and out as you want. I think we can have up to maybe 10 people in the lobby, like waiting room at the same time. Drop a message in chat so I know what you want to talk about, and we'll go with that. So I encourage you to do so. So, Den, here we are. What I like to do is get some coffee and read the internet when I wake up. I got that phrase from Pomp whenever I was, I don't know, let's say getting back into cryptocurrency after like a year's long hiatus from it. Started listening to a lot of Anthony Pompliano's podcast, and I recommend that to anybody who's interested in what's going on just in on a high level, right? He gets into details on his shows too, but it's interesting to see different. I mean, he brings some pretty heavy firepower to his podcast. So find some guests on the list of back episodes that you're into, and go check them out. All right, let's see. Where do we start? I do have some tabs brought up already. I wanted to point out that there's a lot of new users, so welcome, new users. Anybody who saw Full Value Dan's video on Den, it was awesome, really good stuff. Really appreciate. I mean, I've always liked Dan's videos too, even before he did that one. He's honest, fair, thorough, straightforward, and it's a pleasure to listen to. If I had his voice, this show would be better. We'll try to get him on one of these days if I can manage it. He said he's down, so we'll just have to coordinate. But I also put up a video that I think that Dan tried to post on Den already, but didn't actually post because, well, here's why. I'll show you in a second. But there's a long format video that's an interview with Joe Rhodes, CEO of Dragon Chain and of Den.Social. And they spend an hour talking about Den and the ins and outs, the thought processes behind certain design decisions. Excuse me, it's morning. I can't talk 100% yet. And it's worth it. If you got an hour, just pull it up. I mean, even if you don't have an hour, if you're working at a desk for a while, pull it up in the background and listen to it. You don't have to necessarily watch it. But there's a lot of great information in there. So I'll recommend it. Where is it? Yeah. So Dan's post, and this is a note for Dan if you're watching, and anybody else. I'm pretty sure this was supposed to be the post where that showed up originally. But whenever you're posting something, I want to point your attention to one button in particular that you might, come on, Dan, go, that you might have missed. Excuse me, I still had my little search box filled out there. So if I were to go to one of my layers like music, for example, I own the music layer. So go check it out and let's make a lot of money on the music layer. You know any musicians? We need them. We need content creators. Let's do it. So if I add a video here, right, and I put in a video link, you got to hit this blue button over on the right. If you don't click this plus button, right, obviously that's an unsupported format, but you can put, you see the message that comes up, you can put in a SoundCloud, a Vimeo, or a YouTube link right there, and it'll link right through. But you got to hit the plus button. If you don't, it doesn't take it in, right? It just ends up blank. So do that. Let's see. Yeah, that's all about that one. So I wanted to mention that. Go watch that video. And I also wanted to bring up, Jacob Wayne posted just this morning some of his experience. And it's kind of interesting and really great to read other people's experiences. And really good timing with this post, too, because I wanted to talk about tips and tricks. And that's exactly what Jacob has done, is he's given a summary of his first little while with Den, and then broken down some things that he learned personally while using the website. And it's really, straightforward stuff, but you might not think of it coming from other social media sites, especially because there's just different, I guess, they work differently, right? So the payouts on Den are pretty deep in what they measure. So I would recommend reading the white paper and getting an idea, like if you really want to get into it deep, to see how exactly you can leverage it the most. Treat it like a video game and go and read how it works and read the rules and play accordingly, and you'll do very well. But like Jacob says, you do need to be transparent and make original posts. And if you don't, then just mark it as not original. That's fine. Some layers like memes and stuff, there's going to be stolen memes. It doesn't have to be original all the time. But occasionally there's people that will, not that they're trying to cheat the system. They're just trying to make some extra cash. You know what I mean? And it's not even a bad thing to like post something that's not original. I don't want to, say that that's the case either. Really, we just want quality content, and it doesn't matter where it comes from. So if you, obviously original posts are wanted, but feel free to repost something that you see on the internet, but make it more about like your opinion of what you've read and link out to the main thing, instead of just copying pasting over to Den in full, because it comes off like, whether you meant it that way or not, it comes off like you're trying to say that you wrote that or something like that, you know? So if you clear up that confusion, people are way more willing to throw some energy at the post. And that's just going to play out for you way better in the long run. Jacob also says that you should, and kind of what I just said, I guess, but don't just put a video in a title, write something about it, even if it's just your opinion or a short summary about it. Stick with it. Jacob says that there's a snowballing effect. I got to 1,000 matter in 5 months, and the next 1,000 only took 2 months. Now, that's probably because of, a lot of reasons, maybe just timing, but he's not wrong either, because with the snowball effect, you got to think about how all the mechanics feed into each other on this site. Whenever you use your energy to vote on something, right? Have I already voted on this? Let me see if I can still do it. Yeah, I applied a butt ton of energy to this one, right? Which I will do if you go out of your way to like share personal original experience. This is valuable content, right? So I want this to be seen. But what I was going to say is just using that, I put 4,000 energy on it. And using that up, there's actually a mining pool where when you use up your energy every day, you get rewarded matter for that, just for using it, right? Independent of whether you're right or wrong about consensus or other people agree with you, just using it up, and the system generates energy back every day. And as you build energy, you're building matter. So what it really is you're building, let's see, under the hood, it's not measuring how much you use. I think it's measuring how much you build, right? How much energy you, what's the word that I'm looking for? I can't think of it. But if it fills up, your energy can only go as high as your matter, plus 24, right? Because you start with 24 energy. So if you let your energy just fill up, and you don't use it every day, you're not going to earn any matter from that pool. But if you participate and you go through and you evaluate posts and you do things like, weigh in, vote, consensus, reply, use up energy, do stuff, then you'll get rewarded matter just for that, right? And then obviously there's pools for a lot of different things. I got off track there a little bit. Let me have some coffee. And Angel Breaker, Logan, you guys have anything you wanted to bring up, or are you just going to listen to me yap? I see you in chat over here. And also, let's just pull this up. Everybody likes a good morning, right? Good morning. All right, get my stuff together here again. So finishing up with Jacob's post, I wanted to bring one thing up. Upvote, downvote as much as possible, of course. Tag as much as possible. Now this one, yes, tag as much as possible, but be accurate in your tags and don't over tag thinking that it's a hashtag that it's going to get you exposure into different conversations. On Twitter and I think on Facebook too now, for example, and on Instagram and maybe all of them, I guess. The tags are hashtags, and you can click on that tag and follow the conversation and that kind of thing. These aren't hashtags. These are just regular tags, and they also work on consensus, just like voting does, right? So when there's a star next to it, it tells me that Jacob himself has tagged this post with that tag. This user is saying this is an original post. It's original work by me, not copied from somewhere else. And it is a suggestion for anybody who reads it. There's a suggestion in there. Now, I've read it, so I can go in and I can vote on his tags. And I can say, yep, that's original. Or no. I click it again, it goes to no. I click it a third time, and it goes away to nothing, right? So thumbs up, thumbs down, no comment. You just keep clicking, and it cycles through. So thumbs up, yep, that's original, and that is a suggestion. So great. And then I, as a separate user, can go in and add another tag if I think he left something out. For example, if it was not original, but it was tagged as original, I might go in here and I might thumbs down original, and I might go in and tag original or non-original, whatever, right, to bring that up. Now, this tag isn't going to show up right away until more people independently decide to go in and tag non-original. And I think when 2 or 3 people, aside from the author, weigh in on the same tag, it starts to show up. And on some of these that have more participation in like curating the tags, you'll see red tags, green tags. Some of them be transparent. And they are ordered by consensus too, I think. So the ones closest to the front are the ones that the most people have weighed in on. So if you've got 50 people voting on tags, they will sort themselves from highest to lowest consensus. There are there's some posts that I've seen that look like a wall of tags. Let's see if we can just go. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the fire hose. Here's what I call the fire hose. There's 2 buttons up here. One's a clock. You can switch it from a flame to a clock. One is the replies. You can turn the replies on or off. So replies on, and then sorted by time, and then you just get everything. This is how you get the new posts that have no votes on them yet, because the earlier, if you're the first person to vote, and then everybody agrees with you, you get paid out way more. Oh yeah, pro tip. That is great. Use that downvote button because you get paid for that too. I was talking about different pools, but Angel Breaker has a good point there. Use the downvote button because you get paid out if everyone else agrees. I'm trying to find an example of one that has just a ton of. No, that's not one. It's probably going to be some in here. Let's go. Let's browse. I think the ... says there's more, right? Let's see. Because some of these, nope. Now that I want to find one and I don't have it ready, it's not going to show up. Okay. Well, here's what we can do then. We can go to my favorite layer, which is Creature Comforts. And I can give you a very good example of, let's pick on this person for a minute. I don't know who you are, forgive me, but let's go and add a tag, right? There's a bunch of tags in here. And some people will literally go in and they'll be like tag, 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 all the tags. Because I think that they think they're putting their post into a conversation like hashtags and stuff. You're not. What you're doing is you're causing other people to go in and have to downvote your tags to get them to go away because they're cluttering up the screen. Now in the future, I'm sure we will have a functionality where you can click on a tag and it filters that layer by that tag and you only see the things that relate to it. But that's just not how they work right now. So when you're tagging, think about not over tagging, and we might even move to, there's some discussion just this morning about potentially only allowing maybe 3 tags per user and see how that goes. But we'll talk about it, and that can be a community vote that we decide on, on what to do. Oh yeah, yep. So Angel Breaker and I had the same idea. Looking food, mini tags, exactly. But this is my favorite layer, even though it's not my layer, is my favorite layer, just because from the very beginning, this Creature Comforts layer has always been like well managed and good content, and even if there was nothing else on the site, it seemed like Creature Comforts had it going on. And I promised my wife that I would learn to cook again, so I'm going to have to take some tips out of there. Leave me some. All right, I'm going to go to the next tab that I've got pulled up here. Let's go through it. And fair warning, I'm just going to keep talking. So if you want to interject, like I said, go to the post, not that one. Go to the, nope, not that one. Well, wherever it is, here's how you can find the post. Go to layers, go to the Den layer. And then what I do is I just search for it. And I search for episode 2 because I know that's what it's called. And then there it is, right? So in this post, there's a click here button to click in and join. Just wanted to bring that up again. Back to some notes on, we'll get to that too. Back to some notes on what we're supposed to be talking about, which is creating content, making it look good, and formatting. So this, I thought, was an excellent post. This is Rockstar's post, and she's talking about how she posted over on a different social media. This is the marketing strategy layer where people are talking about how to best use how to best spread the word, because the more users, the more successful you will be. And so she detailed a post that she put in the Spanish, I want to call it layer, but over on Steemit. And I wanted to use this as an example because there's some inline photos, which is excellent. Whenever you post, normally you have a limit of, here, I'll just go back one and I will do a new post. You have a limit of, when you're adding images, you can add like 3 or 4, something like that, right? And I'll just grab these. There's 4 open, right? So you can throw some images in here and they will show up at the top of your post, but that's all that you can add. Now, when you add images, it takes a little bit more energy to post. That's fine, 8 energy. But let's say I fill those up and I want to put inline images like Rockstar did to illustrate what I'm talking about. No, that's not the one. Where'd I put it? Rockstar, what'd I do with it? I lost you, I'm sorry. Here it is, boom. So what she's done is she has done inline content where she's put images in the post itself. And Den uses a system called Markdown that makes it relatively easy to do that, even if you don't know anything about coding and things like that. So if I open this image up in a new tab, I will see that it's hosted from Steemit Images, right? So what is actually happening is Rockstar has found an image on the internet that's hosted on somebody else's server and has put it in line with Markdown on her post. And one of the things that I like to do is, how do I explain this? You just have to experiment. Go read the documentation on Markdown. It's not that intimidating. But there's, like, if you've ever used Reddit, they use Markdown too. And you can do some simple like code in front of what you're doing to make your rendered output look different. And there's a bunch of little things that you can do. Like you can make line separators. You can, pull your paragraphs apart the way that you want to make them look a certain way. And you can do a lot of stuff that typically you would need to know HTML or CSS for without needing to know any of that. And what I'm at now is just a site called markdownguide.org, and they have a basic syntax section. Line breaks are useful. This shows you how to do bold text and things like that. And this is all that's happening. Let me go back on Den over here. This is all that's happening in the background. Whenever you click these buttons, if I'm on a new post, I'm bouncing around a lot here. My apologies for that. Let's go, where's Den? How do I click that? Click, there we go. Let's go here. No, not reply. Den, post, geez, okay. So by default, you have these tools at the top. You can click on bold, italic, right? All that's doing is, let's say I have some text here and I highlight it and I click bold. It's bold, cool, right? Well, what that's doing in the background, if I go over here and click off of preview to Markdown, it's just putting that, I guess, operator, if you want to call it, that tag in front of it in Markdown to make the rest of it bold. If I go back and I do some more text and I highlight it and I make it italic and I go and check off the preview, you see that it just did an underscore around it to make it italic, right? So, and here's really the point I wanted to make. There's a lot of things you can do if you want to spend time learning it that aren't available on these buttons at the top, right? You can add quotes, you can do bullets, you can do lists and stuff like that. But you can also do things like, nested bullets, which aren't a default option. So like, let's say I wanted to do a thing and I wanted to talk about the thing, and then I wanted to, go over here and remember how to do nested bullets. Let's see here, block quotes, nested block quotes, lists, yes. Oh, you just tab in, okay, see, easy, you just tab in and it shows up like that. So theoretically, I should be able to go back to wherever I left off, and I should be able to tab it. Oop, let's do a dash here. I should be able to. Does that work? I'm doing this on the fly, not knowing if it's going to work. Nah, it doesn't. Okay, that's fine. So that brings me to my next point is there are third-party desktop apps to help you do all this. What I use is this program called Joplin, where literally you can copy and paste the markdown that is created in here. It's got a lot more tools, and paste it over into the Den post that you're writing, and then switch it back to preview, and it'll make it all pretty for you. So since I got kind of distracted here and I'm rambling, let me just say that there are more options with Markdown than are presented up here, and you might want to do some research on how to use Markdown so that you can make your post look prettier. The thing I was talking about with Rockstar's post was the inline images, and I like to host them on this thing called Skynet. Oh, look at that. I'll pause here for a second. So look at the layer proposals are open. Look at the layers that already exist before proposing a new one, because you might run into this situation where somebody has already proposed it, and you're just duplicating a proposal from the past. So get together with other people that want to do the same types of layers, and make sure you're not spreading out your demographic among many of the same layer. Like, for example, we have three layers that are almost the same thing. We have an art layer, an NFT layer, and an NFT art layer. So that can not be as useful as you want it to be if you spread it out like that. So jump in on somebody else's if you have the same idea. But back to inline stuff, right? I'm going to just go over here and pull a photo that I already have here, like this Rare Pepe gallery. Now, I've hosted this on, you can host it on, Imager and stuff like that, but Skynet is a decentralized storage layer, storage network. It's a blockchain-based decentralized storage network, which is cool, which means you're not going to have one central authority that goes offline and pulls your images away that you have in line with your post. So I was talking about Markdown. Let me get rid of this. I believe that all you got to do an inline Markdown image is just do one of these, one of those, and the link. Let's see if I'm right. This is memory, and memory doesn't always serve. There we go. So what I've done is, normally when you have a link, you'll do something like this. You'll have a link, and you will highlight it, and you will hit the link button, and you will put in the URL, and turns it into a link for you. And if you go over here on the Markdown again, you'll see that all you've done is put a link in brackets, and then the URL in parentheses. So using the same kind of structure, you can just do nothing in the brackets and the source directly to the image in the parentheses, which is where I uploaded it. And then instead of doing it this way, you just put an exclamation or a bang in front of it. And that'll tell Den, or it'll tell the Markdown system, that you just want to display this source on screen. Not creating a link to it, just display it. So pull back out to preview, and there it is. Now this is an image that will not go offline if, like, some website that it was hosted from goes offline. This is hosted on SIA blockchain. It is distributed amongst their hosts and their miners, and it's basically going to be here. So I just wanted to suggest doing that, because if you go to siasky.net This is the interface you get. It's free. It's just like, you can use it like Google Drive, or you can use it like Dropbox or something like that. And you can add a file and it'll stay there for 90 days. If you want it to stay there forever, you can sign up for a free account, current plan free, and you get a certain amount of storage. I think it's quite a lot, actually. Let's see. Where's the upgrade options? Yeah. So if you do a lot of content creation, you can just store it here. No cost, up to 100 gigabytes for free, right? And it stays there. But if you start doing a lot more content, you can buy more storage, and it's resilient, redundant, censorship resistant, not going to go offline. It's pretty legit, way better than putting it on Google Drive or Dropbox or any of that. So I totally recommend checking out CS Skynet and using that for your inline images. Cool. If anybody has any ideas about how to begin eating something like this, do you cut it up? You know, my mouth ain't that big. It looks delicious, though. All right, so there's some tips on Markdown. I wanted to get more into it, but I guess I got sidetracked. When you're posting, I don't want to pick on Belmar too much, but if you're posting something, just make sure that you're not pretending like it's yours. This is an example of something where, you know, I went in and voted on it. It was just a photo that was taken from the internet, and it was put up as if it was, you know, it wasn't claimed as non-original. I put that tag in. See how it doesn't have a star next to it? That means I put that tag in, not or somebody did, not the user. And I just went and found it on the internet and said, yep, that's the same thing that was posted on Den. This person's just trying to, it's not spam, it's content. You know, you're welcome to do that. But they didn't actually add the ingredients, and they didn't actually add the recipe on how to do it. So they copied something, and it wasn't even as good as what they copied. So at least copy the whole thing and say, hey, I copied this from here, give credit, and that's fine. And that's all I'll say about that. Rockstar's doing a contest. It's over in marketing strategy. And here's that inline images post I was talking about. Awesome, cool. So I kind of just plowed through everything I wanted to talk about. And now, Angel Breaker, Logan, who else is on? You want to chime in with anything that I should cover next? Let's see if there's any additional comments on the post itself. Let's scrub through. And you know what? I'll go through and do some tips too. Rockstar, thanks for watching. I hope that you don't think I was picking on you. I was actually trying to show off your post. It's really good. Oh, and you know what? With that, is it still up here? Yeah. Go over here and check out what Rockstar put up on Steemit as well. It's really good. I don't speak the language, but it's awesome that this is how you really can set yourself up for success. Is create the community that you want. Bring your community over and let them know, like, hey, here's something that we can all benefit from, and it may be a little bit more effective than what you're using now. Or just say, why are you working for free for Facebook and Twitter? Come over to Den and let's have our community there, right? Because that's what you're doing. You're working for free. But this is fantastic. I'm just really in awe and impressed by Rockstar. And Rockstar likes grunge music. So, special place in my heart. Definitely. All right. So there's most of what I wanted to plow through. And I did. I plowed through it. I am rusty. There's that. We talked about Joplin. Joplin is available on basically any system. It's cool. You can, I don't want to download it right now. You can, it's on Windows, it's on Linux, it's on Mac, and then you can get it for your phone too. And you can even connect them all together to where you share the same notes and stuff. And actually, I wonder if I can share that now. I got some time now. So let's do that. Let me bring up my Joplin. And share that screen. One moment. Share screen and select. There it is. Boom. All right. So here's my Joplin app. And it's pretty straightforward. It's got a bunch of notebooks that you can add, and inside the notebooks you can put subnotes and tasks and things like that. The really useful thing, and I'm just going to pull up this, I have one called Scratchpad. And here's where, let me go and grab, actually, Rockstar's, yeah, post. I'm just going to grab this whole thing. Copy, and I'll dump it right here in Joplin. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Okay, let's try it again. Copy. There we go. So this is rough. I copied and pasted it. But if you look on the left, this is where you type on the left, and it shows you a preview over on the right on what it looks like. And you've got undo, you've got a bunch of buttons at the top that help you not have to know Markdown at all. That's my main point. And these images didn't get pulled in, so now I can use that as an example of how to pull them in. So if I go and grab a link for an image that I did just a minute ago, and I'm going to put my Pepe the Frog thing in here again. So with this, with Joplin, you can just see there should be a button. The button. Nope, that's the line. Oops. See, there's all kinds of buttons, and you'll learn it by clicking around on it. Let's see. Do they have an image? Do they have toggle existing? Attach. What's this? Attach file. What does that do? Nope. Cancel. Well, this might make a liar out of me. I wonder how I could have swore there was a thing. Anyway, we'll do it the other way. So this should, yeah, pull it right in. So you can do your formatting and stuff in here. And then once you're done, you just copy this back over to Den and publish it. So this is what I do. If I want to work on something over the course of several days or something, I'll just open a notebook in my Joplin, and I'll do it all in there, and I'll play with the formatting, and you can put line separators, and you can put links, and you can do embedded text and code. You can do all kinds of stuff. Oh, exactly what I wanted to talk about was I was trying to do nested bullets a while ago, and it didn't work. So let's say, list item. And then let's say I wanted to go down, tab over, list 2, list 3. All right. What this should give us, yes. All right. So it works here, and you have the nested bullets, right? This is pretty useful, but it's not easy to do in Den. But if I do it here, and then I just copy it over, grab this, right? Copy. I'm not going to switch my screen back now, but if you go over to Den and paste that in the markup section or the markdown section, it'll actually come out nested just like this. Actually, yeah, I'm here to do it. Let's do it. Stop screen, share screen, and then let's go back to, what's that going to be called? There we go. All right, here's this again. Right? So over here, to Markdown, the bottom right corner, you can actually make this bigger, so you don't have to edit in this little bitty window. You can pull this out, and let me just put in what I just copied, right? List item 1, 2, 3. Switch back to preview and see it does nest. And if I just put testing, please ignore before I post it, yeah, cool. Now I post that. It should show up nested, even though that's not really an option on the editor. Boom, there we go. So that does work. You got to finagle it a little bit, but it works. One thing that's different than standard Markdown is normally, if you put 1 hash and then text, 2 hash and then text, That's just different H1 header sizes, right? Their text a little bit bigger than the other one. With the Den version, if you do 3 text, it does not actually change the size. It just turns it blue. So if you want to get blue text in there, you can just do 3 hashes, and it. I think it's just a custom version of the Markdown that we have where it does that. So there's that. And let me go back to. No, actually, that's it. So that's all Joplin. That's how I use Joplin to figure out what things are going to look like before I put them in here. And then I'm just going to delete this. Boom. All right. So that's almost my full cup of coffee. Thank you for listening to me drone on and on. We've gone over the main things that I wanted to go over with CS Skynet. I highly recommend checking out CS Skynet. Free tool, and you're not hosting it on someone's like centralized company server, and so you can rely that it's not going to be censored or taken down accidentally and things like that. Free account up to 100 gigabytes. Use it up. What else? Oh, LCP is open. Layer proposals are open. We talked about airdrops was proposed, but airdrops had already been proposed in the past. So scrub through and look at the layers that are proposed and see which ones you might want to throw in on. We only do the top by votes and the top by unique voters every month. So get it in there. I think I'm going to probably propose a metaverse layer. And that's actually most of what I'm going to talk about next week is metaverse, because I am here. I'll give you a little preview. I am in the middle of setting up a Den.Social gallery and event space in Decentraland. So let's check that out real quick. First, I'll go to the marketplace. And this is just something that, I've been thinking about a lot and looking into a lot. And since Facebook has, gone, oh, you know what? I can't do it with this browser. Let me share a different browser. Be right back. Okay. Yeah, perfect. Put this here. All right. And let's share that one. But yeah, I've been playing around with it quite a bit. And there's some interesting things happening. Obviously, Facebook is going all in on metaverse. And then I heard Microsoft, share screen. I heard Microsoft was also going to build their own metaverse. So they're going to have all these centralized corporate metaverses. Yay. But it just got me thinking about, well, there's already a metaverse, an open metaverse called Decentraland. There's some other ones too. So why not just build that? And Den could be the anti-meta. We could do our own thing in the actual open metaverse, and it can be amazing. Quid pro quo, huh? Get airdrops, and then maybe we can get metaverse. We could get them both at the same time. If we got enough unique votes on airdrops and more overall votes on metaverse or something like that, you could win 2 categories. So that could be something. But now I can go to, let's see, I'm going to go to the marketplace real quick. Decentraland's cool because it is, to me, it's cool because it is, well, a lot of reasons, but it's the only one where you can just jump in with your web browser. You don't need to download an app. You don't need to have any special software. You can literally just go to, just go to the website with your browser, and where's land? Start browsing. You can go and just jump in. So I'm going to go to a plot that I've purchased. If I can think about where it's at. It's down here. Here we go. So, boom. This should be right there. Okay, cool. Not found. What do you mean not found? This is where I find out that my metaverse has been hacked, right? Let me try this again. Click Den.Social gallery and event space. Not found. Is it my, oh no. We might be discovering something here. Let's jump in next door. Let's see what's going on. All right. The neighbor's for sale. Can that come up? Not found. Oh, okay, I think that maybe Decentraland might be having an issue. Okay, okay. Well, here's what we'll do then. There's more than one way to skin a cat, right? Get started. All right, so there's no logins, there's no accounts or anything. It's like a Web3 deal, and you just have to have your MetaMask play using your wallet. Go, go. Is Decentraland down? Is that a thing that happens? Shouldn't be, right? It can be slow. They run on IPFS for file hosting and things like that. But no, it's working now. Cool. So this is where definitely, get some ideas about what can be done with this, because you can sell merch here. You can, like if you look in front of my character here, you can click on all of those. Let me just zoom in here. You can click on all of these billboards on the wall to go to certain places. Hold on now, dang it. All these people. See, it's popular all of a sudden. Isn't that great? Now let's see if we can go to my property now that I'm in. There's Genesis Plaza. And here should be, let me just go to the street here and jump in. This should take us to the Den.Social prototype that we have going on. I don't know if we'll need a bigger space or not, but we got a really good start. And like I said, anybody can jump in here, and there's voice chat, there's text chat and stuff like that. And you could even have a different like spot for each layer to hang out. People could put up their NFTs from the NFT and art layers to just display in the gallery. Right now, cool. All right, it's not missing. I guess there was just a glitch. But it's a really bare bones structure at the moment. Oh, what is this? That wasn't there before. That's new. Okay, so somebody just built that. Neat. So here's our building, right? There's our estate. And right now, it's pretty bare bones, which is fine. We're just making sure that we know how things work and getting some examples of, some utility out of it. We have a dragon, of course. Big shout out to Mirror Vision. We are exhibiting Mirror Vision's art exclusively right now at the Den.Social Gallery and Event Space, because that person designed this whole building. And if you click on this link here, it takes you right to Den.Social. So this could actually be a building where there's different, oh, it crashed. So that'll happen to you as well, just to give you a heads up. You could actually have a different, I don't know if you ever played Mario 64, or I like the Golden Saucer in Final Fantasy VII, where there's different ways to jump into different sections. You could totally set that whole thing, that whole system up in there. Oh, we don't see anything, I'm told. So, yeah, you should see. Oh my gosh, you're right. Thank you. This is where I need more coffee. Now, do you see anything? Did I just spend like 5 minutes talking about what was on screen without actually showing it? Probably so, right? All right, thank you for that note. Let me back up and show you this again then. All right, so there's our estate, pretty bare bones, which is fine because we're just experimenting right now. It's going to look pretty later on. But look, we got a lot of stuff going on. You can click on this, is what I was talking about. You can go to Den.Social. You got a sign here saying who we're exhibiting. Mirror Vision designed this. And okay, cool. You can see it now. Good. And you can link out to anything from the metaverse. You can link out to anything from Decentraland. So with this, if anybody walks up to this, and let me just not make you stare at the back of my costume for a minute. But if anybody walks up and selects this, it'll pop up and say, hey, do you want to go? And it just takes you, since you're in a web browser already, it just takes you to that website, right? I'm going to cancel, of course. But this could be set up in any way you want to link out to any content that you want. For example, NFT galleries are really popular right now. So you can go through and look at different NFT projects, right? And I'm just a little avatar walking around in the space. But this actually does link directly out to, if you click on it, tells you, yep, it hasn't sold yet, description, what the price is. So it's a fully interactive gallery. And you could even link out to the merch store, to Den's merch store. I'm having a lot of issues with it today, more than before. So Decentraland they went from a $1 billion to an $8 billion market cap in like overnight. Whenever Facebook did their thing, when they said they were going full metaverse, the open metaverse really blew up at that point. Reload. Come on now. And what I've been seeing is, this is probably a result of just success, is that the servers are kind of having issues right now, but that'll get better. They also have more funding, so I'm sure it'll get way better. They want to bring VR in by next year. I went to a Deadmau5 concert in Decentraland. Paris Hilton did a thing at the festival grounds in Decentraland. It's pretty crunchy, but it works. It's cool. Let me load this up and I'll show you a couple more things before it crashes again. But this is just to give you an idea of, there's really something to be said, even if it isn't the prettiest thing in the world, for something to be free and open. And that's what Decentraland represents, is the free and open metaverse. So I definitely like it a lot. Let me scoot back in over here, jump in. But yeah, you could sell actual physical merch on here. You could display a discount code that you might not even know about unless you were in Decentraland looking at it, that kind of thing. Let's see here. Got a question. Do you own mana, or would you suggest a land? I'm all about building and utility and stuff. You have to buy the wearables and the costume items and things in the game with mana. The land, I think, also with mana. Yeah. So you got to buy land with mana. You can't buy it with Ethereum unless you're on OpenSea. There are some listed for Ether on OpenSea. So it's kind of you have to have mana to get land most of the time. Like I said, unless it's peer-to-peer, or I could just sell you my land for it and you could cash at me, right? Unless it's something like that. But I don't know. I don't speculate as much on what the investment's going to turn into. I speculate more on the use of it. So if you're like me, I would suggest land. There's theoretically only so much of it. It is a DAO, Decentraland. They could decide to make more land parcels, but they're not planning on it as far as I know. And we might get stuck right here. I might not be able to load this back up because of how loaded the servers are right now. And as a miner and a service node operator, that makes me wonder if I should look into maybe running a node for them. I'll try to reload it one more time because I really wanted to show that gallery a little bit more. But we'll talk more about it next week anyway. I'm about done here anyway. But let's try loading it up. So yeah, I would say land, but don't buy the land right now if I had to suggest anything, because in the last week, the price of mana has gone from about 40 cents to about $3. It went all the way up to $4, $3.99, and I think it's like $3 now. One side effect of that is that all of the parcels and estates that were priced in mana before that huge spike in price, they're still priced in mana, the same amount of mana. So, for example, this Den.Social estate, let me bring up the map. Right here, 3728 and 3729, -29. These two parcels together are the Den estate. I bought them for 26,000 mana. But that was back when mana was like 37 cents or maybe 40 cents, right? So it's a completely different number whenever you're talking about mana being $3. Because the one right next to it, the same person's selling it, right? I think this person's owning a lot of land and just kind of incrementing out and selling estates one at a time. But the new one that's for sale right beside the Den estate is the same price, 26,000 mana. Now, today, that's like $75,000, right? But whenever I bought it, it was like, whatever, it would have been much less, whatever, like a third of 26,000 is, whatever that is. So, I guess my point is that a lot of the prices have not updated yet. Let's see if the marketplace even works right now, because it wasn't working a minute ago. A lot of the land hasn't been repriced at all. It's still priced based on mana being 30 cents. You know what I mean? Okay, I want that. So you can buy stuff, of course. It's a money sink, but it's a fun one. Here's an NFT. It's a neon sign that says "We all gonna make it." There's a bunch of them left, and there's 7 mana, which is pretty expensive. But I'm gonna buy it. And I'm going to buy it for 7 mana, and I'm going to sign, and then it's going to be mine. This is how you buy something on the marketplace. Same way that you buy land. And you can see my history. I bought, spent way too much on this parcel because I didn't know the price was going to go up so much. But let's see if this works now. No, it's not going to work. See, price 26,000 right there. Okay. Is it showing up for you? Yeah. So it's not worth it right now to buy some of these land parcels because they're still priced based on, like, that's a $4 million mana. So that's $12 million for that piece of land, US dollars, right? If you are shopping for land, the parcels that are, I'm getting way off topic, but that's okay. The parcels next to the roads are worth more because there's no obstructions. You can't build in the road to obstruct your parcel. And the more that you have connected, like if you have one individual parcel, you have a limit to how high you can build and how many pieces you can put in there. But as you connect more, you can get more and more and that kind of thing. So I would say definitely the land is the most useful, but it's also unrealistically expensive right now. Luckily, we have the Den space, and we can all use the Den space, right? It's mine. It's my personal spot. But until we have, until we decide we want to go and buy a big plot for like the community overall, I'm just going to donate this one for us to use it. So think about who we might put in the gallery after we build onto it some more. Okay, unless it crashes again, we're going to look at this. There's an elevator right here, right? You interact and it brings you up to the next floor. Whoa! That was glitchy. Let's try it again. The reason for the elevator is because there was a big dragon-shaped staircase here, but it used up all the polygons. It used up all the triangles that you could put in here. Come on, elevator. We're going to crash the game again. You ready? Oh, okay. Elevator's not working as well as I thought. But the idea is that the elevator can take you all the way up. And you can look at each floor with a different gallery. And this whole property can be modified as much as we want it to be. We can do, you can host videos and play them here. I could potentially, I'm not sure enough about IPFS to say that I could go live, but they were doing concerts. They were doing, like I said, DJs and stuff like that. So we could have parties here and hang out virtually from all over the world. Denizens paradise, right? So there's my long drawn out answer for would you say land or mana? Boom. Okay, I'm gonna stop yapping. It's been an hour of that. I appreciate you hanging out with me, and going forward, I'll yap some more, and we'll talk about stuff and things. So thanks for joining me for episode 2 of Coffee with Den. Like I said, let me know what you would like to go over next time. I'm going to go through and tip out the people that have left comments and replies to the episode 2 post on Den, and I'll see you next time. Let's see here. I don't have anything as an outro ready, but I tell you what, I like this song a lot, so let's play this one. Cheers.
serve to organize and measure the best.
Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. A tactical approach is palpable if this animal is fallible, but that conclusion is laughable. So with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now.